What up, everybody? What is good? Welcome to the Damn Dude Podcast.
Damn, dude.
Where we have the conversations that need to be had in a way that'll make you think and say, damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, man. Those type of combos. Timeless classics. Stuff that won't get old. Stuff that won't expire. Stuff that'll be applicable for the rest of our lifetime. That's what we're here for. We're here to help deepen our... We are here to help deepen and grow our sense of self-understanding and self-awareness. That's ultimately what the show does. We're here to help educate, entertain, and make an impact. I am your host, California Cal. I have to say I am not one of those Californians, just so our out-of-state listeners don't tune out immediately, because we know how those Californians can be. So, without further ado, let's get into this. This is Season 2, Episode 15.
Damn, dude.
That makes 115 episodes, you guys. That's pretty damn exciting. The show's growing. It's been fucking getting more and more popular as time goes on and as more people like and share and all that cool shit. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for making the show dope. Thank you for making it fun. And thank you for making it what it is. You know what I mean? This is cool. It's really, really, really exciting. And the Damn Dude Podcast family is a real family, as strong, as tight. And people who listen to this show are on the path of self-improvement and self-betterment. Some people just listen for the entertainment, but most people, to find any of this shit valuable, are typically going to be on some sort of path of growing and, you know, some level of enlightenment to a degree. So that's what we do, and that's what we here for. First off, I'm going to start off by saying, bro, arthritis is no fucking joke, dude. I got arthritis in my left wrist, and this shit is next level, homie. Like, dude, I can't even explain how bad it hurts. It's like, for those of you who've broken a bone, it feels like I've broken over 64 bones now, so I got a lot of experience with it. But within my experience of breaking all these bones, I've kind of observed the process of what it's like and how it feels. And definitely, there's stages of how bad the broken bone hurts when you break a bone. There's like, you break it, all the adrenaline's going, and you don't really feel a whole lot. You're kind of just more like, oh, that shit's not connected anymore. And then time goes on and it kind of starts getting numb and heavy, or not numb, but like a sharp feeling. I guess it depends where it's broken and how it's broken. And achy and all this. And then at the end of the day, like when you're finally chilling, like when you're about to go to sleep type of thing, that's when the pain just fucking kicks your ass. And arthritis feels like that most painful moment, and it just stays there. It's so fucking trippy, dude. Like stretching, exercising, it doesn't really do anything. It just remains like neutrally fucked, which is really fucking weird. So it's very, very interesting in that sense. So some of the other things we're going to get into today, we're going to talk about child abuse, and we're going to talk about leading by example for our children. Because, dude, well, first off, let me say, with the arthritis thing, if you got old folks in your family or in your circle or whatever who are like, oh, this is killing me, like, legitimately, they're for reals. That shit's very, very for reals. And it's weird because it's only certain things that make it hurt. So I went for a motorcycle ride with my homie Diego earlier. Shout out, Diego. What up, homie? You guys can go back and hear his episode, actually, too. I want to say it was in the 20s or early 30s. Anyway, he got a new bike. It was fucking sick as fuck. He let me ride it. I got to rip a couple wheelies on it. That thing was so motherfucking fun, dude. I've been riding my other homie's Harley, and it's cool, you know, it's just like big, comfortable, but you can't really do anything on it. My homie got a supermoto, and holy shit, that thing is clean, it's tight, it's just, it's so predictable feeling. It's just incredible, man. So fortunately, the old arthritis held up for that. I found out I could still do some wheelies and shit, which was pretty cool. Going for a motorcycle ride didn't hurt too bad. So that was quite amazing. So something that's interesting is, just to kind of throw this into there before we get into the main topics of the show today, is the power of and.
Damn, dude.
What's that supposed to mean? Well, the power of and. There's a difference, and I think I've spoken about this before. The difference between the power of and versus but. So it seems minuscule and it seems small and it seems like not that big of a deal. But which of those words you choose to use in your daily vocabulary make a difference and create something, or it's either going to create new openings and possibilities, or it's going to create less openings and possibilities, depending which context you come from. Now, it's not just the words so much. I mean, it's part of it, but it's where the words come from that makes it so fucking impactful or not. You know what I mean? So, for example, I went to the store and they didn't have milk. Okay, well, and then what? Versus, I went to the store, but they didn't have milk. So if you just think about what the weight that carries, well, I went to the grocery store and they didn't have milk. All right, well, like, what's the rest of it? You know, it's like, cool, well, what would you do next? But they didn't have milk. It's just like, oh, that sucks. And then it just ends there. So the thing is but is an excuse and is a creation word. And the more that we can use and versus but, the more our subconscious gets trained to be a person who's looking for and what else? And then what? And what next? It's somebody who speaks from a place of choices and options, rather than if we say, oh, but it predicates an excuse. That's basically what it's doing. So then this applies everywhere, like, and to so many different things. I picked such a simple example, but let's say, trying to think where to go with this. I was trying to think of something serious, but all I could think about was this 500-pound dude who shit in the gym shower yesterday. Yo, this dude legit shit rabbit shit into the shower. I don't know if this fool was mashing turds down the drain with his foot or what. By the time the homie left the shower, there was little fucking turds everywhere and a towel laying in the shower floor. And this dude had the nerve to fucking sing songs while he's just shitting in the shower. Granted, dude's about 500 pounds, give or take, like, actually. And, you know, props to him for being in the gym. That's fucking cool. But, dude, this is a big boy, man. And I'm like, can he just not wipe his ass? And is that why he just rinses it out in the shower? Like, I don't know. I was bothered and disturbed the whole day. I still am. But I know which shower not to use at the gym. For my folks who go to the same gym, don't use the left shower. I mean, granted, it's probably cleaned up and all that, but just to know a 500-pound dude was shitting in there. I can't, bro, like, what? Anyway, so I was trying to use an example that was deep as fuck, but my brain went there. So there's a 500-pound guy, but he shit in the shower. Oh, but what? Like, damn, okay. Like, there's a 500-pound guy, and he shit in the shower. It creates two different things. Now, granted, I'm trying to think of something serious. Okay. I asked her, I went and asked this girl out. I asked this guy out, whatever your thing is. And they said no. They turned me down. All right, well, it's like, it's not an excuse. It's just telling the story of what actually happened without inputting any excuses into the whole equation. Oh, I asked this girl out, but she said no. Okay, well, it's like, shit, it's just dead right there. You know what I mean? But, and it's like, it takes the cause and effect and it makes the cause an excuse for the effect.
Damn, dude.
That's what it is. That's what but does, is it causes the cause to be an excuse for the effect. Now, if we said, I asked this girl out and she said no, it's like, well, okay, so the cause isn't an excuse for the effect. It's just there's the cause and there's the effect. I asked her out and she said no. Versus I asked her out, but she said no. As if this person saying no to you is a viable and valid reason for you to walk around having your feelings hurt. But if because the cause is an excuse for the effect. On the other hand, it's like a way of taking personal responsibility. I asked this girl out and she said no. All right, well, I asked her out and she said no. That's just what happened. That doesn't excuse, it's not an excuse for the no happening. It's not an excuse for, well, this is why I feel sad now because she said no. And it's like, no. And she said no. It still takes personal responsibility. So I hope that communicates. I hope that follows through, you know. So there's something. Okay, let's. Excuse me. I was gonna say let's go here first. I'm trying to figure out which way I wanted to take this because even when I wrote the notes, I was going back and forth. No, this first, that first, this first, that first. So let's talk about child abuse. Now, that's kind of weird, right? But here's the thing, is I'm not talking about, I think, what most people's brains just go to thinking about when we hear the word child abuse. Like a lot of times for me anyway, I think of somebody being beaten, excessive force being used in punishing a child, stuff like that. At the same time, there's a lot of us that have outgrown that because we've talked about the difference between a discipline and a beating before, right? And this kind of ties into that as well. And it's like there's different degrees to this whole thing. So there's things that people overlook and it doesn't even register as abuse. So things like feeding a baby soda. To me, that's child abuse. Feeding a baby fucking Skittles or candy or, Sour Patch Kids, shit like that. To me, that's child abuse. Now, I'm not talking about he had one, he tasted it. I'm talking about where it's like a regular thing. I've seen babies know the different brands of chips, and I'm like, that's so not right, man. Or like, I've seen babies know the different kinds of soda and shit like that. And I'm just like, dude, that's not cool and that's not right at all. Like, no child should be doing that. That's just setting them up for food addiction, setting them up for... It's just setting them up for a life of addiction. You know what I mean? It's like, they're not... How are you supposed to know any better, And when that's normal, then all this other shit becomes normal. It's like, oh, she just has a skin condition. Oh, he just has a digestive issue. Or, oh, he just gets rashes. And it's like, no, those are things and signs that your diet is not good. If your baby's got all these rashes, most of the time, now I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but most of the time, it's like, well, what are you feeding them? It's like, oh, they just eat cereal in the morning. They eat Frosted Flakes and then has a box of High C or whatever the fuck. I don't know. Shit like that. And then he had some candy and then he ate some frosting and then, oh, but he really likes frosting on his pancakes or, you know what I'm saying? It's all these little things like that. And it just adds up and adds up. Oh, and then he ate 3 cake pops. Oh, and then she ate a freaking whatever the fuck and this and that, right? And it's like, okay, moderation, stuff in moderation, fine, totally cool. I let my kid have a treat every now and then, but for the most part, he eats all organic, all clean. Every now and then he'll have a bite of something here or there. Give him, he'll have a bite of ice cream or a bite of something, just so it's like his system can get used to it. Because when we started off, we fed him all organic, and that's pretty much all he eats still. But just eats clean, like super duper clean and healthy and organic. So I make sure that he has and tries different things so his body can adjust to it and doesn't spaz the fuck out over drinking one little thing or whatever, so I can kind of like adapt and get used to it to a certain degree, right? And that's my understanding that I want to build with him is like, dude, it's not necessarily like it's all about this, because that's how I was raised. It's like I didn't get candy, I didn't get to eat out, I didn't get fast food, I didn't get soda, I didn't get all those things. So like by the time I could have it or make my own money, I would go crazy. And that's the source of me when I start overeating or I jump into really bad eating habits, is because of that. So I think when you feed your kids candy, soda, junk food, all these things on a regular basis, I think that's child abuse. It's not okay. Like, literally, their bodies have problems and issues and all these things when you do that. And then it also affects their temperament. It affects their mood, their attitude, their gut health, all of these things. And they're like this pure, clean body, and we're just shoveling garbage into it. And to me, that's not okay. You know what I mean? Like, that, to me, that's abusive. That's not cool. It's like, what if you were to give your kids other addictive things on a regular basis? What about that? Is that okay? Is that cool? It's not. But because we have all this fucked up food that has all these additives and addictive properties to them, which have shown to cause different cancers and different ailments and different diseases and different, all these other issues, right? So when I see that, it breaks my heart, man. Like, granted, yeah, like the only time my kid really, he'll have like ice cream or not even soda, like something that's not necessarily good for him, it's like very, very special occasion. Maybe a birthday party, maybe a trip to the fucking zoo or something like that. You know what I mean? But as far as on a regular basis, nah, man. Like, I want him to be able to enjoy, and I want him to understand, okay, this is good, this is not good, and have the whole range of different types of foods, right? So the next thing that I see that is definitely child abuse, in my opinion, is masking up your fucking kids. Dude, putting a mask over a fucking baby, that's abuse. There is literally fucking classes and pamphlets and all this shit when you have a baby that they give you these fucking things, and it's like, yo, make sure that the blanket doesn't cover your baby's face. And then now all of a sudden we got these motherfuckers out here like, you better put this cloth thing over your face, blah, blah, blah. Dude, I refuse to put that shit on my kid. 100% refuse. For as long as he needs to be 2 years old in order to not wear it in places, he will remain 2 years old, according to these people, because he's not going to wear one. I tried to like just put one on him to see what he would do, because he's 3. And technically kids that age are supposed to wear it. He was like, what the fuck are you? Get this off of me. Like, he was just like, bro, this is abuse. Like, like it was just a joke. Like, we happen to have a mask in our backpack from when we went flying last time. And it just kind of stays in the backpack. Like, we just hadn't thrown it away yet. But I gave it to him. He was just like, what the? He was like pissed off and offended that I would even try to do that. And I was like, all right, cool, man. Like, you got the right attitude. Because, dude, fuck that. Like, there's videos of people trying to force like 3-year-olds to wear masks, and they're like, like, yo, it's so not cool, man. Like, that's straight abuse, dude. Like, for your child to not be able to breathe fresh air and to be scared of fresh air, to me, that's abuse, dude. Like, that's not okay. It's not cool. That's not acceptable. It's just not. You know what I mean? Like, that's totally not acceptable, and it's not okay. Restricting your child's breathing, that's not fair. And that's just straight up abusive, dude. Like, I see people where they're just like, put your mask on, bro. And it's to walk from here to the outside the door. And it's like, bro, fuck you, dude. Like, what are you doing? How would you like to be treated like that? Or just because you're okay with getting treated like a little bitch, you're okay with like punking your kids and raising them for them to be like that too? Hell no, I'd rather my kid be like, man, fuck this thing, fuck this mask, and fuck you. Like, I'm not wearing this shit. I ain't no buster ass punk. Like, I breathe air, bro. I don't know about you. If you breathe anything else, then you're either a fucking fish or a bird. Like, I don't fucking know, bro. But we don't do that around here. You know what I mean? Like, you can get fucked. Plain and simple. Don't abuse your kids. That is abuse, dude. I'm just following the rules, blah, blah, blah. So if the government told you, well, feed your baby soda, like, you're just going to do it because you were told to. You know what I'm saying? If the government told you, well, make sure you beat your kids 3 times a day, like, you're going to do it just because the government told you to. Like, get your head out of your ass. Stand up for your fucking kids. This is not okay. It's not okay. Now, granted, I think some of the mandates ended and whatever. The mandates have been ended for myself and, you know, my family. But it's wrong, and it's supporting the wrong side of history. And this is going to be one of those things that a lot of adults are going to try and ignore and act like it wasn't that big a deal or just fucking forget about. Nah, motherfucker. We remember. All of us remember. Your kid's going to remember the trauma that caused them. They're going to remember that shit. And whether that they remember it as that or it manifests as some different type of anger and it manifests itself as different type of anxiety and it manifests itself as different types of social awkwardness and all these effects from when you hide people's face from the world. Like, there's people who fucking wear masks to avoid other people in town and in public. And to me, that's bitch made, dude. Like, that's not cool at all. What are you doing? You know what I mean? So we need to encourage our kids to be free, to be outspoken, to breathe fresh air, to eat healthy food. Like, why do we not want that for our kids? You know what I mean? And if that is what you want for your kids, then why don't you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, I don't want my kids to fucking comply with this mask garbage or get used to it. Because fuck that. Completely fuck that. The science is proven, the blah, 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 blah. I don't even need to talk about all that. It's evident. It's very self-evident at this point. So there's no need to even dig up that pile of worms because it's just, that's how the fuck it is. You know what I mean? So completely fuck that. And you know what I'm saying? It's like there's a lot of things that are pretty abusive in the sense that it's going to do long-term emotional damage to a lot of these kids. Now, the same thing, hiding behind the masks, being forced to wear them, the view that child will take on when they see people not wearing masks, rather than seeing a smile as like, wow, that person's beautiful. It's like now their brain is being tuned to like, wow, look at that guy. He's a fucking idiot. He's crazy. That guy's stupid. Why is he not wearing one? You know, it's like kids are getting indoctrinated into this bullshit stuff and way of being, and I'm not with it, dude. It's not okay. Same thing when, you know, it's like if you just keep your kid glued to an iPad 24/7 or TV or electronics or video game. Yeah, it's like some is cool, moderation, that's fine. But the thing is, when they go overboard, that's when we got a problem. You know what I mean? Like, that's when it's not okay. Sorry. So I would just love to see people support their kids in a way that encourages freedom and free thinking and free breathing and free acting. You know what I mean? Because fuck this, dude. Like, it breaks my heart when I see this. I help kids for a living. That's what the fuck I do. And to see that, I see the effects it has. And it's sad, man. Like, I just want the best for our future generation and our kids, and and feeding them soda and junk food and all this and masking them up and all this crap. They're only going to get unhealthier, and that's completely unfair to them. So you already know what we're going to do. Let's take a quick break. After these messages, we'll be right back.
Damn, dude.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to keep it cracking like it's Mardi Gras.
Damn, dude.
So, hope you guys had a nice little break. I was maybe like 2 seconds for you guys in real time. I guess me too. All I did was get up and reset the camera. But I say all that stuff about the abuse of kids. Obviously, it goes way deeper into real physical abuse, sexual abuse, mental abuse, all of that. But this is the thing, is food abuse isn't even like a category. You know what I mean? That's not even something that we say. Like, I just thought of that right now. Now, mental and psychological abuse, that's definitely going on with the masks. Definitely. You know what I mean? Anything outside of that, it's like, it's just, dude, like, we got to be mindful of these things. So here's the other piece to this. I say all of that to say this, which is we need to lead by example for our kids. Because when we just fucking comply, that is the example we are leading with for our kids. And how is anybody okay with that? How are you okay raising kids to just comply? Well, maybe a lot of people were just raised that way themselves, and that was the example that they were shown from the beginning, is comply. And for me, I'm good. Fuck that. Like, there's rules I'll follow. I'm not saying, oh, I'm immune to all rules, or I disregard all rules and laws and whatever. But at the same time, dude, fuck that, man. Like, I want the example for my kids to be, yo, my dad is a badass and he's fucking with the shit. You know what I mean? Like, I think back, like, the biggest example I had, and that I continuously have, and this keeps me in a young mind state, I feel like, or in like a certain way of playing and being youthful as an adult still, which is, I think back to my oldest son, Nate, dropping into a quarter pipe or half pipe. When he was learning, he was maybe like, I don't know, like 10-ish or so, maybe 11. And he didn't learn to skateboard till he was like a bit older, you know? So for him to get up there and do that, like, most of the time you're going to eat shit super bad when you're trying to drop into a quarter pipe or half pipe or whatever. And it's just not simple, right? It's not, I mean, it is simple. It just takes a lot of commitment. The type and amount of commitment it takes to drop into a half pipe, the commitment is bigger and more than the skill of doing it itself. Like, if you could know how to stand on a skateboard relatively confident, and you could just fucking stomp the bolts and lean forward, like really stomp the front of the fucking skateboard, like when you're standing with it hanging off the edge, it really takes commitment. Like, you gotta stomp the fuck out of it and just trust you're gonna keep going. And then you gotta have a plan when you get to the other side. But the thing is like, if you only halfway stomp it, you're gonna eat shit. If you lightly stomp it, you're gonna eat shit. And when you fall off a quarter pipe from a messed up drop in, it hurts. Because you basically go from the elevation with this whole smooth transition, and you skip the whole transition and just go straight to the floor. And it's like, bam! And skate parks are not made of fucking soft rubber, or like, everything's hard as fuck. So you smash yourself into the floor, and it's gonna fucking discombobulate you pretty fucking good. So I think back to that, And I'm trying to talk him through the whole thing without actually doing it. Because to me, I was like, man, I've already retired from skateboarding to a certain degree. Like, I'll still skate around here and there, but I'm not going to try and get better or do tricks or do a bunch of old tricks I used to do. So dropping into half pipes and quarter pipes, like, I didn't really skate vert growing up. Like, we just did street skating. We were in schools and fucking malls and parking lots. Like, that's where we skated. And like homemade ramps and rails and shit like that. So we didn't have skate parks with quarter pipes and half pipes to like practice. I could do it, but it wasn't very good, you know? It was just kind of like I could just barely do it. So I'm giving him all the instruction. I'm like, bro, it's easy. You just got to do this and that. And then finally I was like, I'm talking all this shit and I don't even know if I can do it. I mean, I wasn't talking shit, but I was giving advice, and it's like, well, if you can't do it, then how good actually is your advice? You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm like, all right, I realize there's do as I say, not as I do, and then there's do as I do, not as I say. So I try to be do as I do to the highest degree with my kids versus do what I say. Because if I say it, then I better be able to do it. You know what I mean? So I caught myself being like, just stomp the bolts and lean forward. It's easy. Just stomp it hard. Like, full commitment. And it's like, and then he's going, he's eating shit, this and that. And every time you crash and you fall doing it when you're learning it, it only gets scarier and scarier and scarier. Because, like I said, the fall on when you fuck up dropping in on a half pipe or quarter pipe, it's bad. Like, it really fucking hurts, dude. You slam hard. And so every time you do that, it's like, it what's that word? It fucking demolishes and diminishes your confidence immediately. You could have all the confidence in the world, go up there, boom, smash yourself on the floor, and you're like, oh, I don't know if this is for me. And like, the thing is, it's only going to take doing it 2-3 more times, and then you got it. And then once you got it, you don't ever forget how to do it. You know what I mean? It just stays with you forever. It's like riding a bike. So finally I'm like, oh, fuck. I walk my ass up to the top of the quarter pipe. Let me see this fucking thing. Half pipe, wherever. And I'm like, and then I'm standing there and I start getting scared. And I'm like, oh shit. This is exactly what he's thinking about right now. Like, this is what makes it so fucking scary. So I'm up there and I could have been I could have handled this whole thing from the context of being an and or a but. And at first I'm like, it's like, yeah, just get up there and do it. But I don't do it anymore. It's easy. But you can. And it's like, well, what does that do? Versus I was like, well, you know what? I was like, get up there. Come on, you can do it. It's easy. And I can do it too. You know what I mean? And I can try. So I get up there and it's like, all right, I'm standing up there. I'm like, all right, this is scary. This is scary what? This is scary, but I'm going to do it. That doesn't build confidence. This is scary, and I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to fucking cheer for myself and fucking do it again. Right? So I remember climbing up to the fucking half pipe, and I'm just like, oh shit, this feels way bigger up here. Oh shit. The skateboard seems way faster and way more like volatile up here. Like, oh man, like, is there something to hold on to? Like, who's going to talk me through this? Can somebody hold my hand? You know, like, fuck. So within that, I realized, holy shit, I got to do it. I got to get up and fucking handle this shit. I can show them how it's done. I can lead by example, or I could just talk about it. And I always want to be one of those people who just fucking jumps both feet in, you know what I mean? Hat over the wall. I'm fucking going. I'm committing. I'm making it. And I could sit there and give all the perfect instruction in the whole fucking world, and it makes no difference if I can't get up and do that shit myself. You know what I mean? So it's like when we give advice, we got to consider how much of it can we actually do ourselves? How much do we do ourselves? How much do we participate in? How much of that are we actually able to do? You know what I mean? So I think that's something that's interesting is as I have kids, as like I'm getting older and older and more decrepit and all this shit, I still do my best to maintain some youth. And the only way I'm able to maintain some youth is by going and leading by example. I want my kids to see, damn, my dad can drop into a half pipe. Damn, my dad can pump around a skate park. Damn, my dad can fucking rip wheelies. My dad can fucking do jumps. Like, my dad can fucking whip donuts in the car. My dad can surf big waves. My dad can do this. My dad can do that. And just from your dad being able to do something, it kind of automatically sets the standard of what you can or can't do. Your dad, your mom, whoever you got, whoever your big influence in your life is, if you see them doing something, that's like what's already automatically possible for you just because that's in your realm. You know, the same way it's like if your dad's a fucking stunt man, there's a pretty damn good chance that you're going to be with the shit because it's in your normal realm of doing shit. You know what I mean? And then once you get to that point to where it's like, I guess the most common American way for this to come off is like, oh, I can finally beat my dad in a game of basketball. You know, like to me, I'm more into like board sports and things with wheels and shit. So for me, it's like, damn, when my kids can wheelie longer than me or my kids can jump higher and farther on the bike than I can, that's where I'm like, oh shit, okay, like I got to keep going. I got to keep stepping it up, you know, because that competitiveness is good. It's good to have competitiveness inside you. And that's something that this younger generation kind of lacks, I realized, is competitiveness is almost looked at like a bad thing. Like, what's wrong with you? Why are you trying so hard? It's like, motherfucker, I want to win. That's a good thing. You should want to win. You should want to destroy everybody at what you're doing. Respectfully, you know what I mean? With proper and good sportsmanship. But you should want to destroy everybody in the sense of being a fierce competitor and having and exhibiting competition. You know what I mean? So the more we can lead by example for our kids, the better off we're going to be. For me, it's like I show my kids, we don't wear masks. Fuck this. My oldest son, he will to school and this and that. And I'm like, I get pissed about it. I'm like, bro, stop. Fucking fight. Get in trouble, bro. Fuck this. You know what I mean? Granted, he's his own person. I'm not going to force him to do this or that or whatever. But it's like, I know that me leading by example versus just telling him, do this, do that, blah, is going to do more than what I can say about it. You know, the things that we do and the actions we take, yeah, we need explanation for them. And we should, you know, especially if we got kids, we should describe what we're doing. We should explain what we're doing and things like that. But to a certain point, you can only explain so much, and the rest you have to actually do it and lead by fucking example. Because if you don't, then you're just hot air. And nobody wants to be hot air Bilbo Baggins. Like, you want to actually have some respect and some weight behind your words. Who is Bilbo Baggins? Is that even a thing? I don't even know where that came from. What the fuck? I truly have no idea what that is or even where that comes from. I don't know. Anyway. So that's why I choose to do things the way that I choose to do them. I do my best to be in this understanding of that I am continuously being an example nonstop. How I post online, what I post online, the authenticity behind what I share or don't share is I want that to be felt and seen and observed and absorbed by my kids. You know, it's like I'm very open, I'm very honest about everything, whether it's online or it's fucking in person or you have a conversation with me. I want everybody to understand, damn, Calvin's an authentic ass motherfucker. You know what I mean? Now, there's a couple people close to me who don't view me that way, and that's fine, and it's because they relate to the oldest, smallest versions of me rather than anything that's new and improved to any degree. You know what I mean? And that's why, unfortunately, the people we love the most and the people we've known the longest are the least supportive and the least outwardly vocal with support. You know, a lot of times they hold you down when it comes to like, they love you, they got your back. If you need to talk, if your shit fails, whatever, but they don't understand the bigger picture. So that's why you just got to do it anyway. You know what I mean? And that's something I want to show my kids. Like, look, it doesn't even matter if I think what you're doing is cool or not. Do you think it's cool or not? And how much integrity to yourself, and are you honoring yourself via what you're doing? You know what I mean? So I go back and forth where it's like, I want my kids to just do as I do, but I want them to do better than what I do. You know what I mean? Because I know what I do is there's better ways, there's more effective ways, there's smarter ways, there's just better ways to do shit. You know what I mean? But the main principle of it is that I want them to understand exactly that it's like, yo, even though there's different ways to do things, do you, man, and then try the different ways and find out what works, and what works for you, do that to the fucking max, and then keep improving. It's like, one thing I've learned about teaching and learning is that in the process of learning any skill, whether it be surfing, whether it be your career, whether for me it be teaching babies or doing podcasts or learning to surf or learning to motorcycle, there's gonna, in the process of learning, you're gonna do good, and then there's a whole bunch of mistakes that you have to make that are very important to make, because if you don't make those mistakes, then, and you quit there, then you don't actually get it, because the know-how comes right after beginner's luck, and then all these mistakes, and then the fine-tuning. So the thing is, a lot of people will quit upon either doing it good in the first place, or they quit upon making these initial mistakes in the first place. And they're all necessary. So for example, like learning to surf. A lot of times when I take people out to surf, they'll ride like 2 or 3 waves and just kind of get lucky because they put all the instruction that I gave them into their one shot, boom, and they did it. And then what happens is they keep going, and then they keep crashing a bunch. But the thing is there's good mistakes. There's signs that tell you you're getting better. But without somebody to remind you or tell you, or you just don't have that competitive nature with yourself. That's why I love individual sports like board sports or things on wheels. It's like you are in control of you. And if you fuck up, it's on you. And then if you succeed, it's on you. You know what I mean? So in the process of learning to surf, when there's beginners, you're going to do good the first couple of ones most of the time. And then after that, you get flipped over the front like 3 or 4 times. And then after that, you overcompensate and you scoot too far back on the board. And you need to be right in the middle of the board for the waves and the ocean and the board to work, and for surfing to work. So what happens is once you've fallen over the front too many times, that either means you were too far forward, or you were in the wrong position in the wave, or you didn't paddle hard enough. And if you make these mistakes to where you're falling over you're getting flipped over the front, that's a good mistake to make. When I see somebody getting tossed over the front, I'm like, oh, they're getting better. Even though they just rode 3, 4 waves in a row and now just ate shit like 6 times in a row, people get confused, but I'm like, this is a good thing. This is a really good thing. It's like that because the mistake is giving us information. It's giving us feedback. Well, what's the feedback? The feedback is, well, you were too far forward. And when you're on certain surfboards and the waves are certain ways, like half an inch too far forward will get you wrecked. Half an inch too far back will make you miss the entire wave. Being right in between of that half an inch can be the sweet spot, especially if the board's small enough. And, you know, it depends on the weight to the weight to volume of the surfboard that determines that. But just in general, if you're up just slightly too far forward, you get flipped forward. If you're back too far back, you're too far back and the wave misses you. So those mistakes give us positive information and positive feedback if you're willing to see it that way. When I see people that I teach to surf, getting mangled, getting flipped forwards, or not catching the wave, I'm like, all right, this is good because now you know where the middle's at. Where you were at too far back, that's too far back. Where you're at too far forward, that's too far forward. It might take getting flipped one more time. It might take missing another wave one more time. But the thing is if you take that information and you use that feedback, you get better. Now all of a sudden what happens is you know where to be on the board every single time. You're not chancing it. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like I can feel when my toes are on, it depends what board I'm riding, but I can feel when my toes are just barely just off the mark. You know, some of the boards I feel by, like now, since I've been surfing long enough, I can just feel it and I don't have to like eyeball or measure or anything. But before I would like line up my eyes or my chin with like a logo on the board, or I would have my feet touching a certain part of the pad. And that was how I would know if I was in the right spot or not. Because I didn't have a coach or anything. I was just fucking out there learning, you know, freeballing it by myself. So these failures are huge signs of progress. You know? So being that that's the case, there's a lot of other things like that. When we learn anything, it's like that. It's like when you learn to do your times tables, if you ever learn them, it's like you're going to get them all right. And then all of a sudden they add double digits to it. And then they add different rules. And then there's fucking PEMDAS or whatever the fuck. And like, there's all these different things that all of a sudden change all the rules. And then now you got to make a bunch of mistakes in order to learn this new concept. And all learning works that way. You know what I mean? Some people are better and worse at different things in different parts of learning different subjects and different techniques and different sports and whatnot. But the thing is that they will all have their cycle, their life cycle. And part of the life cycle of learning something is basically the way that I've been able to break this down is here's all the instructions. Remember everything. Go do them all enough until you forget each instruction one by one and you do it automatically. So once you've got it conceptually in all the words, then you got to go start practicing to get to the point where your muscle memory remembers it enough to where you can forget all the instructions. And then from that point, you're going to make a bunch of mistakes. And when you make the mistakes, we'll match the instruction to the action. And then you go, oh, that's what that means by that. And then forget it all again. And then now you know how to do it.
Damn, dude.
And I only know this because I've developed mastery in teaching. Whether it be teaching swimming, teaching surfing, teaching whatever, teaching myself different things. When you've done things for a certain amount of time, you develop mastery. And it's like, what is it, 10,000 hours or 10 years? And that's when you become a master at something. I realized that with this podcast too. It's like, holy fuck, I'm going to make a bunch of mistakes, this and that. And then first I'm all technical, remembering all these things and remembering this and that. And I'd forget to set my timer. I'd forget to set the camera, the this, the that, whatever. My soundboard wouldn't be ready. There'd be all sorts of factors. And then once I like forgot all of them and I just kind of like started doing the practice of it, I had to go back and remind myself, check my notes, this and that. And then I come back and omit all the statistical information about it. That's when I actually know how to start doing it. So any new skill that we take on, any way that we lead by example, we have to understand there's going to be beginner's luck, slight bit of success in the beginning. Then we're going to fuck everything up. And then we know how to do it. So anytime we learn anything, that's the process. Now, we could break this down way small depending on what exactly we're talking about, but this is the process for many, 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 many things. And that's what I often tell people when I'm teaching them stuff is like, all right, cool. Just understand, here's the part where you're probably going to make a bunch of mistakes, but they're good information. What I want you to discover when and while you make these mistakes is just answer why that happened. What happened? That's it. And once you begin to identify, oh man, I flipped over the front. Why? I was too far forward. Well, now you know what to do. Oh, I didn't catch that one. That wave passed by me. How come? Oh, because I was too far back. Well, now you know your answer. So it's like the teaching kind of starts doing it on its own. You know what I mean? So I think that's the power of leading by examples. When we can lead by example and analyze what we've just done, then it becomes simple. It's like I surfed literally every wrong way possible for a year until I figured out like the 5 key points that allow me to teach myself or somebody else how to surf. I taught myself to surf switch. Like I'm not very good, but I can do it, which means you can, it's like you either stand one direction or the other direction, you know, 1 foot forward or the other foot direction, or the other foot forward when you ride a board or skateboard, a surfboard, a snowboard, whatever. And I taught myself to surf opposite footed just to see if my instruction really works. I'm completely uncoordinated riding goofy foot, which means your right foot's in front, your left foot's in back. Like I can barely stand that way. But because of the simple instruction, because I just followed it the way it's supposed to work and I allowed myself to make the mistakes it was supposed to make, it just magically fucking happened. And I was like, whoa, this instruction really fucking works. So when we can dissect and analyze and take out the little pieces of what makes it work and what makes it not work, boom, we got magic, we got success. So what is it that we are leading by example? You know, if you think about it, it's like our habits, the way we speak, the people we say hi to in public, the people we don't say hi to in public. Our kids are being influenced and they're going to act like that. If our kids like refuse to say hi to people or something, it's usually because we don't say hi to people. You know what I mean? It's like they just emulate what the fuck we do. So it's wise to grow awareness over what it is exactly what the fuck we do. You know what I mean? So I think about this when it comes to eating bad things or fucking, if you're to be drinking beer, smoking weed, or whatever your example is that you're setting, that's what you're setting. Are you an example of exercise and working out and going outdoors? Or are you an example of being sedentary and complaining? Are you an example of, you know, comb your hair every day? Are you an example of make sure you brush your teeth? What, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever it is, it's all leading by example. So the best thing we could do is grow some awareness over it and have the best sense of self that we could possibly motherfucking have. So, on that note, you guys, let's wrap this show up. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. The show is growing fast. Thank you guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. This has been so much fun. I will catch you guys on episode 16, season 2. Again, I'm your host, California Cal. Go leave us a 5-star written review wherever you can. We greatly appreciate it. Hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful day. Much love. Peace.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Croissant. 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 Crouton. Croissant. Croissant.
Damn, dude.